mini workshop series from bright and diverse voices in therapeutic embodiment. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. It tells them the content is valuable, and then they'll show it to more people. The following session is not a substitute for, nor does it replace professional mental health advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have any concerns or questions about your health, always consult your physician. We're very happy to have you back at Burnout Prevention, Somatic Practice for Tired Healers. This is session number 4 out of 5, entitled Caretaking and Caregiving, a Somatic Guide. It's my great pleasure to introduce to you our presenter. Bridget McCarthy is a creative multi-hyphenate at the intersection of mental health and the performing arts. Her primary role is mental health coordinator for theater, TV, and film, working alongside organizations and producers of all sizes to bring trauma-aware, resilience-focused tools into their most challenging conversations. Proud to call Atlanta home, Bridget is committed to supporting humans worldwide to engage with their most creative, authentic selves with humor, compassion, and courage. Bridget, we're thrilled to have you. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Mary. Friends, it is such a pleasure to be here today. Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to take off my watch. That's how I'm feeling today. I'm going to invite you just to a breath and a stretch to arrive. Oh, if you want to invite in a yawn, feel free to invite in that yawn. Take a minute and orient yourself to now. Some breath. Friends, today we're going to be working on an issue that is really close to my heart, and it's the question of caretaking and caregiving. Many of us here identify as nurturers, as caregivers, as caretakers, and there can be a lot of exhaustion associated with that role. And so today, and then not only exhaustion, but also shame associated with the exhaustion associated with that role. And so today I want to bring some light to that. I want to bring some compassion. There is no right way to experience this today. Your experience is right. But I'm going to invite you to actually find a place on the floor. Find a place on the floor lying down. If that's not accessible to you, feel free to find a place in your seat. Go ahead and take the next 15 seconds to find somewhere that's really comfortable for you. I'm going to stay sitting up. If there's a yawn that comes in, go ahead and invite it in. We're going to start lying down in a comfortable position or on your in your seat. Start some music here. There are no words in this music, to our friends that don't need words in their music. Begin by getting yourself really comfortable, allowing yourself to switch from your usual mode of doing and generating to non-doing, non-generating. With some breath, asking, what if it simply was? Connect with your body and bring your attention to your breathing. And you don't need to change it. You can just use little surfer on, use that surfer of awareness on your breath. And follow your breath as it comes in and goes out, and being aware. Noticing if there are any sensations associated with just being. It's not a comfortable spot for many of us. Is there part of my brain that's saying, oh, I need to remember to do this after our session today? Okay. Comfort that voice with some judgment, some non-judgment, excuse me. You can thank it for being there and let it know that you'll be there for it when we're done. Letting that pass, giving full attention to each breath in and each breath out. Take a moment now to consciously set an intention for yourself in this next few minutes. Some examples are to open your heart, cultivate loving kindness. I care for myself. Recharge. I'm going to invite you to bring to mind a person or a critter, a pet, who you are very happy to see or who you have deep feelings of love for. And imagine or sense this person or pet noticing your smile, warmth, Excellent. Now, as you continue to work, the invitation is to let go of the person or pet and keep in the awareness of those feelings that have been brought to you. Now bring them to mind and see if you can offer that love or kindness or that joy of being with to yourself. See what happens. And you can invite the words in if you want. You can say them out loud or I can say them with you. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May my heart be filled with love and kindness. Notice the feelings and sensations that arise and just let them be. Now, when you're ready, you can stay in this space if you want, or you can add another layer. The invitation now is to offer love and kindness to someone who supports you. You can bring that person to mind and let these words become your words. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you live in peace. May your heart be filled with love and kindness. Notice the feelings and sensations that arise and just let them be. And once feelings for a loved one flow easily, and it's okay if they don't, you can just stay here. There is no checkbox today. Where you are is perfect. Once feelings for that loved one flows easily, you can turn your attention to someone with whom you have difficulty. Probably not the most difficult person in your life, probably not the most difficulty you've ever had, but maybe with someone with whom you have tiredness or challenge. And see if you can let these words become your words as you keep this person in your awareness. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May your heart be filled with love and kindness. And notice the feelings and sensations that arise and see if you can just allow them and let them be. Notice if you're holding any tension. If you need to take a big breath to clear, that's okay. As you breathe, try to find relief. And finally, now bring to mind the broader community to which you belong. Maybe it's your family, your colleagues, your neighbors. And try fanning out your attention until you can include yourself in this offering. And when you're ready, these words can be your words. May we be safe. May we be happy. May we be healthy. May we live in peace. May our hearts be filled with love and kindness. And notice the sensations and the feelings that arise within you. You can sit with them for a minute. If you want, you can take your two hands, you can rub them together, creating a little bit of heat, that energy that just comes from you, that little friction. And when you're ready, you can bring them to your heart center. You can bring them to your solar plexus, maybe one on each. And when you're ready, you can flutter your eyes open, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, stretch if you want, invite in some breath. Invite in a yawn. Oh my goodness. Ah. Nice. And give your body a few seconds to move the way it wants to move. And when you're ready, you can rejoin us on screen. Friends, the meditation we just did was adapted from Jon Kabat-Zinn. And I'm really grateful for that specific meditation because as a caregiver, as a nurturer, I reconnect with that meditation and I feel this body that is filled with compassion and loving kindness. And then sometimes I go to work with my clients and I go, wow, why is it so different? How am I so filled with loving kindness here in this body? And then I go back into the system and I'm so cut off from it. And so my question for you is, was there anything in that meditation that surprised you? Was there anything in that that surprised you? Or an experience you want to share in the chat of that meditation? You can either just think about it or you can make yourself known in the chat to the community. I'll give it a few seconds. A softening for myself. And to those I have not been feeling peace and connection with. Ooh, beautiful. Thank you. Kindness and compassion towards self is what I needed today, as well as the warmth of my own hands. Yeah. Oh, the peace that arises when I wish my whole family well. Yeah. I've done meditation for a long time and but it surprised me how much resistance I experienced internally trying to project the endearing, loving feelings I have for my pet to myself. It felt selfish, even though rationally I know it's not. Oof. Selfishness, that is a shamey, shamey word, isn't it? Ooh. Why I have reservations when extending kindness. Yeah, yeah. So friends, I want to uplift something here without getting too far into our brains. I want to offer two models of nurturing and putting kindness into the world. And those models are caretaking and caregiving. And it's just a slightly difference of words, but I want to be really clear. Those roles are very different. The caretaker gives out kindness out of compulsion. It can come from fear. This person might be emotionally managing people. It is a responsibility. As it's used in this context, I think about like compulsive helping. And it's this drive that actually comes from our activated state rather than our grounded state. And it's driven to help and to fix. I don't know if y'all know this, but that fight, flight, fawn, there's another F that fits in there, and that F is fix. And for those of us who work in the caregiving profession, so often we're living in that fight, flight mode, but just as fixers. And then on the other side, there is caregiving. And caregiving comes from abundance. It comes from compassion. It comes from connectedness. And so my question for you, my friends, is, do you experience yourself more in the caretaking role or the caregiving role? Are you caring from compulsion or caring from connectedness? You can make yourself known in the chat, or you can just think about it. With this next exercise, I'm going to invite, can y'all see me? Yeah, you can. I'm going to invite you to assign 2 parts of either your room or your body or your screen. And I'm going to invite you to assign one side a caregiving side and a caretaking side. And so go ahead and place your body on the caretaking side. You can invite breath into this and bring caretaking into your body, whatever that means for you. Maybe there's a shape that caretaking brings. Maybe there's a energy that caretaking has with it. Maybe there's a tension in the body that caretaking has with it. And fully embody that when you're ready. And when you're ready, you can shake that off and come to the caregiver side of your body or of your screen and invite in caregiving. Maybe caregiving has a shape. Maybe caregiving has an energy. Maybe caregiving has sensation that is associated with it. And the invitation is to go back to caretaking. And hold that in the body, whatever that feels like, holding it. Inviting in breath, noticing where there is tension or holding. Then moving back over to caregiving, what that feels like. And now, friends, the hardest piece of all is to come back to center and hold both. I'm holding one in each hand. And over here on caretaking, I am feeling gratitude for the activated energy that carries me when I don't have the storage to just work from connectedness. And I'm going to say out loud all of the reasons why I am grateful for my caretaker mode. Noticing what that is in my body. What are some of the reasons you're grateful for your caretaker mode? You can put it in the chat if you want to be seen in community, or you can just think about it. Holding my caretaker. She's heavy. She's heavy. Then over here, I'm going to hold my caregiver. This is my heart. This is my nurturing self. This is my connected self, my working from abundance self. And I'm going to name all the reasons why I'm grateful for this person, my caregiver. I'm grateful for their heart, for their experiences, for choosing to be kind. And in a moment, I'm going to take my hands together with both my caretaker and my caregiver. I'm going to rub them together, creating heat in my hands and coming back. Just breathing in my own heat from my own hands. And asking, is there one place in my life, my role as a caretaker, where I might be feeling disconnected, where I can ask for help? The opposite of overwhelm is not working smarter. The opposite of overwhelm is connection. Is my caretaker overwhelmed, and does she need connection? Does he need connection? Do they need connection? And what is one opportunity that I have this week to find connection for that tired caretaker, for that tired caregiver? And when you're ready, I'm going to invite you to do one more thing with me. If you'd like to make yourself known in the chat, you can, or you can just think to yourself, what is an affirmation that you have for your tired caregiver or your tired caretaker? What is an affirmation that you have? As you're thinking of that, I'm going to invite you to some touch on your body. I see you are doing enough. You are enough. I'm going to invite you to put one hand in a fist over your heart and to cup one hand over your heart. Make sure that this touch is soothing and not uneasy. Feel free to explore other possibilities. You can put a hand on your heart and one on your belly. You are enough. You are doing enough. Who you are is sufficient. You can put one hand, your other hand on your belly. You are worthy of taking up space. I'm going to put one hand on my cheek. You are worthy of softness. I'm going to put my other hand on my cheek, gently cradling my face in my hands. And saying, you are loved. I'm going to gently stroke one of my arms and say, you are imperfect. I'm going to stroke the other one and say that, and that's okay. I'm going to cross my arms and give myself a little hug and say, you are doing enough. I'm going to gently stroke my chest like this in small circles and say that no amount of energy that I pour out will ever fix a broken system. And finally, I'm going to come my hands together, cupping one hand over my fist, over my heart, taking a deep breath, and say, I am not alone. I am not alone. And when you're ready, you can give your mantra or your affirmation out to the world with some nice breath and some voice. The invitation, my friends, is to one more time, if you want to make your affirmation known in the chat, you can. I'm happy to read it to you if you want to hear it from a stranger. But the other invitation is to reflect on the last 20 minutes and reflect on the intention that you set at the top of our practice with some non-judgment. And as you think about going into the rest of your day, thinking about what is one place your caretaker might be tired, and what is one way that you can offer your caretaker some connection. Because one more time, the opposite of overwhelm is not working better. It is connection. With that, I'm going to toss it back to Mary and TRF. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Ooh. Oh, Bridget, that was a great session. I was so surprised for myself how different the body posture for caretaker and caregiver were. That came as a huge surprise. And I hadn't really thought about or heard before that those roles are really different in the way that you described them. So that was really, really helpful. I love what Kristen dropped in the chat. Kristen, I hope it's okay if I read this. She says, my caretaker keeps me connected when I want to isolate. My caregiver shares love freely with others. Caretaking, root of obligation. Caregiving, root act of love. Tired caretaker, I'm never alone. Tired caregiver, it's okay to rest. I really loved that.
Thank you so much, all. It was beautiful. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, this was really wonderful. Janelle saying, I really actually needed this today. Perfectly articulated. Can so relate. Thank you. Miriam, thank you. Rebecca, great exercise.
Thank you so
Lori, loved your share too. Thanks, everyone. This was really wonderful, Bridget. Thank you so much. We were so happy to have you here today and for this whole series. And we look forward to session 5, which is next time. And the topic is care of the wounded healer. And that's the last session in this series. So thank you, audience. TRF Tuesday strives to offer you a variety of body-based approaches that assist in a trauma healing journey. We'd love your feedback if you're open to sharing. There's a form in the chat soon. And working behind the scenes are TRF team members, Pat Murray and Star Muhammad. I'm Mary Frangie. We're happy to have you, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.